Imagine waking up to the sound of roosters and knowing that the food on your table was grown by your own hands. Whether you care about living a healthy lifestyle or plan to start a family one day, understanding the benefits of living on a farm can have many positive impacts on your life. I've been researching this topic for around 2 weeks and I'm very interested in it. Today I will be persuading you on why you should raise your family on a farm. First, I will talk about the significance of farm life versus industrial life. Then I will talk about some barriers that prevent people from making the change. And lastly, I will provide you with some solutions. Kids living in highly industrialized areas are missing out on developing a strong work ethic. Kids often lack responsibility because their daily life does not require them to tend to their household or their community. According to Daniel Latier, only 28% of parents make their children do chores. Without regular responsibilities, children cannot learn how to adapt to challenges and learn important skills. While farm kids are provided with meaningful chores and activities that teach them how to handle things on their own and prepare them for the real world. People living in highly industrialized areas also tend to be less physically active than those living in more suburban areas. Studies show that there are lower activity levels in more dense and populated communities like cities, and higher activity levels in more suburban communities like farm towns. This just goes to show how important your environment is, as it can shape your daily lifestyle and your health. Kids are also missing out on learning important life skills like teamwork, problem solving, and adapting to challenges. Excuse me. Kids living in highly industrialized areas often spend a lot of time indoors and rely on structured routine and technology. But this is all preventing them from learning these important skills naturally. While farm kids tend to spend more time on daily responsibilities, helping with their family, and adapting to challenges. Kelly Thomas also states in one of her articles, children know the origin of their food, which I think is another very important life skill that all children should have. Now that I have talked about the significance of farm life versus industrial life, I will now move on to some barriers that prevent people from making the change. There are many barriers that prevent people from moving to a farm. The first one is that it seems outdated and scary. People in today's modern culture, things like eating processed food and spending a lot of time indoors have become so normalized that we rarely question them. Our culture is often centered around convenience, like fast food, technology, busy schedules, which are all things that aren't associated with farm life, and farm life can actually have many benefits. And the fear of farm life often comes from the lack of exposure and not the actual lifestyle itself. Another barrier is that people don't know how to farm, so it can seem very intimidating. People probably can't tell you where the food on their plate comes from or the exact ingredients in it. This can make basic farming skills like having a garden or having animals like chickens seem very outdated or scary, but in reality there's lots of benefits. Another barrier is that processed foods have become addictive, common, and convenient. Food used to be simple, it came from the earth, it wasn't processed, and it was there for one purpose, nourishment. But in the article, why some countries don't import American meats, it talks about 2 drugs in America that are used on pigs and cows that increase muscle growth and weight gain. These drugs are banned in over 160 countries because they're very addictive and toxic for humans. And this is why the EU and Australia have both stopped the importation on American meat. This is just one example on how the industrialized food system is keeping us coming back for more instead of nourishing our bodies. Now that I have talked about some barriers, I will now move on to some solutions. The first one is educating yourself on farm life and the benefits it has to offer. When you understand the origin of your food and the lifestyle behind it, it can help you make more informed and healthier decisions around your life. And you can also start to question whether your lifestyle is really just convenient or if it's actually beneficial for you. Another solution would be actually touring the farm. This can offer a more hands-on experience where you step out of your comfort zone and get a feel for farming itself. You can also experience more outdoorsy lifestyle, and it'll make farming seem a little less intimidating. And the last solution would be starting a home garden or starting with something small. And for my action step, I have a QR code. I know it's hard in college, but if you know anyone who would be interested in it, you can scan it and it'll take you to an article that has a step-by-step on how to start a garden at home. Today I persuaded you all on why you should raise your family on a farm. I talked about the significance of industrial life versus farm life, then some barriers that prevent people from making the change, and lastly, some solutions. And remember, what might seem normal might not always be what's healthy. Thank you.